Hello from the Columbia River Gorge. So today I'm headed to Upper Horsetail Falls. I haven't been to this waterfall, it's been a while, and I'm getting ready for my landscape photography workshop, A Taste of Oregon. And I wanted to check it out before I brought my clients here, just to make sure that the water flow is good and there's no issues with the trails or anything. I'm gonna check it out. And if it's good, of course I'm gonna get a few photos. It's been a while since I've been here. So I'm almost there. It's not too far of a hike from the parking lot. So I should be there in just a few minutes. And again, I'm just filming while I walk. I'll show you what the trail looks like though. That's as close to B-roll as you're gonna get. I mean, it's a well-maintained trail. And we're just starting to get fall color in the gorge. I'm filming this 1st of October. And over the next 3 weeks, the fall color is gonna go crazy. So I'm super looking forward to that. So here's the falls coming into view now. And I wore some taller boots so I can get in the water. Hopefully I can find a nice shot. And the people, I've got plenty of time, so I can wait it out. So hopefully you can hear me over the stream that's going by. But I finally found a composition. I think it works pretty well. And I splashed the rocks to get a little bit of, give them a little color because they were dry. And it hasn't rained in a few days. So putting that water on the rocks gives the moss and stuff, it lights it up a little bit better. Also put a polarizer on, partially polarized. Just want to take a little sheen off, leave a little on. Just to give, you know, again, that's to taste, but that's what I like, just a little bit. And then I've been finessing the composition and my shutter speed, and I'll show you what I've got. So there's my composition. I got this large boulder right here in the foreground with a smaller little bit of waterfall, little one right here. Then I've got one in the middle ground, and then I've got the main fall, you know, up here at the very, very top. I've settled on about 1/4 of a second, f/16, because my foreground is extremely close to the camera. ISO 400, so that I'm about 1 stop underexposed and I'm not blowing out any of my highlights. So this might be easier to see it this way, but this boulder is very, very close. In the foreground, I'm at 16 millimeter. And so I want to make sure that this is sharp all the way back to the waterfall. The other thing I've got an issue with is right over here in the bushes, I've got movement because of the wind. So I'm going to take another shot, probably at about maybe a 50th to 100th of a second. I think will be fast enough to freeze that little bit of movement that I'm getting. And then I'll adjust my ISO to get to whatever it is, to get that shutter speed at the same exposure. That way when I blend it in Photoshop, it's just a piece of cake. It only takes like a second. So let me get that shot and I'll tell you what those settings ended up being. Hang on. So I was right, it's about a 30th of a second. 40th of a second is what I actually ended up with, a 40th of a second. I had to bump my ISO up to 800 and I took my aperture down to open it up to 7.1. But again, I'm not concerned about anything other than the moving branches. So my depth of field is going to come from the other image that I took. And with all the light we've got, it's not dark, there's no shadows. I'm not gonna have a lot of noise where I'm gonna pull that little bit of the shot from and blend it into my main photograph that's shot at ISO, you know, a much lower ISO. So I've got that in the bag. I think it's gonna look great, and I'm gonna show it to you right now. So I think that was definitely worth the hike. It's not too hard. There's no problems with the trail. I'll definitely be bringing my clients here for the Taste of Oregon tour that's coming up. If you are interested in landscape workshops, be sure to check out my website, jamesparkerphoto.com. I have all my workshops listed there. You can sign up for my newsletter. You can drop me a message so that if you have any questions or you'd like to sign up for any of my future workshops, you'll be able to do it. We'll have a lot of fun. I guarantee you're going to come away with some amazing images. So don't forget, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks, and we'll see you next time. So I kind of lied. This isn't the end of the video. So when I got back down to Horsetail Falls, I just started walking around, and I really love the basalt columns over here. I think they're really, really cool. The waterfall is extremely tall. The main waterfall is just really, really tall. And you don't always have to get all of it in order to make a nice photograph. So I decided to just try to see if I could make a composition kind of work. And I found something I kind of like. I wanted to share it with you just real quick. About the same settings as before. Like I'm F11 or so, F8. I'm just trying to get my shutter speed where I want it and the lowest ISO that I can come up with. And the composition is real simple. Let me show you. I've got this little bit of green over here for my left frame. Then I've got these really cool basalt columns. And then the right hand side is going to be framed by my waterfall. It's not going to be vertical. It's going to be a landscape photograph. And I've got it just low enough. The bottom of my frame is going to be right about there where the falls hit. You know, a little bit, I have some space, but that's going to be the shot. And I don't care that I don't get all of the falls, because the main subject of interest for me is going to be those basalt columns here. And this is just like a little bit of icing on the cake. And when I dodge and burn that just a little bit, I think I'm going to be able to bring it out, and it's going to look amazing. It'll look really, really cool. And it is F8, ISO 50, I believe, and 1/4 of a second for the water flow. And I'll show you the finished picture right now.